welcome back to my channel. So about a year ago now, I got my Indonesian blue-tongued skink named Stella, and I let her settle in for probably a month or two before I started making videos about her, but I kind of stopped making videos about blue-tongued skinks for a long time, and I really don't have a reason. But when I decided to sit down and film a video for this week, I just completely realized, like, oh my gosh, it's been forever since I've made a specific video about blue-tongued skinks. So today I wanted to do a one-year check-in of owning a blue-tongued skink and have any thoughts been different, or is there anything that I didn't expect that ended up happening owning a blue-tongued skink, as I've had Stella for just over a year a couple weeks ago. So with everything being said, we're going to talk about it. I'm going to show you her enclosure and how my care has updated, and I just like doing check-ins like this because it is nice to inform people, like, hey, especially since blue-tongued skinks are getting a lot more popular, I've noticed this year, I wanted to make a video informing people that there is things that people don't really talk about, and just things that I didn't notice would end up happening or would be the case when owning a blue-tongued skink. Here she is. Here is the grump herself. This is Stella. She has gotten much more calm, I would say, in the past year. She still has obviously her off days where she's just not very happy, but she is getting a lot calmer and a lot better with being handled. She still is quite puffy. She does like to make little noises because she's not the happiest. I also have not been the best necessarily recently, especially handling her. I take her out maybe like once every week or week and a half, which I would like to, upgrade that to more like 2 or 3 times a week to get her much more socialized, but she does a lot better now. She doesn't try to get away or anything like that. She's never been nippy. She's never tried to scratch intentionally. They just do have long nails, which is something I'm going to talk about, especially today since people don't mention that. But yeah, here she is. She's doing pretty well. If you hear again any puffing, it is not because she has an RI. She just absolutely loves to just puff when she gets nervous, so I try to keep her as calm as I can. But first up, her care. When I originally got her, she came to me in a 40-gallon tank with a forest floor bedding, 1 hide, some wood, a dish, and some plants, and that was it. And then she had a fogger and obviously UVB and heating. That is what she started in here, and then I eventually made my build last year in February, so almost a year ago now she's been in the build, and she is living in, I believe it's an 85 or 90-gallon tank, and that is where I intend to keep her the majority of her life unless something changes, but I am able to upgrade her, but she will never be in anything smaller, as she is quite the large blue-tongued skink. I have also upgraded a lot of her stuff in her tank. She got a much longer, much better UVB. They were using a like off-brand UVB that's not great, but now she's using a Reptisun 5.0 that is 22 inches long, I believe, and she has 2 hides now, and she has 2 cork grounds and a bunch of extra wood, a big water dish, a bunch of plants, and she has a cypress mulch eco earth bedding mix, which works well for me and her. She seems to like it. She can burrow easily and it's easy to clean. So she doesn't have Reptid chip anymore, and I think that might be it, but she's gotten a lot bigger herself, and her tank has also upgraded, and she's gotten much more supplies and decorations to use in her enclosure. One thing I definitely want to talk about is maintaining humidity. A lot of people don't really mention this. They're just like, oh, they need high humidity, and that's kind of all people say, but it is extremely hard to manage, especially if you're not home like at least a couple hours a day on a daily basis, because sometimes like I'll have to go somewhere for 6 hours or something like that, and I'll miss her tank as much as I can. She has her fogger and everything, and sometimes I'll get back and it's under 50%, and she needs 50 to 80%, which is lower than a lot of Indonesian species. A lot of them usually need 60 to 100%, which is why I do see why a lot of people go for northerns, as I think they need like, what is it? I might be wrong. I think it's 40 or 50%, but I'm not completely sure, so don't quote me on that. But yeah, keeping humidity, especially where I live, it is super dry in the winter, which is very hard, and then in the summer it's so insanely humid that it is so hard to keep her humidity below where it needs to be. Sometimes it'll skyrocket up to like 90, and obviously that is risky for an RI and everything like that, so that's definitely something to consider getting a blue-tongued skink, and I've had a hard time dealing with it, and a lot of people come to me for advice when they get their blue-tongued skinks, and I'm like, I am dealing with the same issue myself. But especially getting a fogger, I do want to get a Miss King this year. I think that's something that I would like to splurge and buy because of the amount of animals that I have that need misting, and especially her. She's the main reason, since I mist her about 2 to 4 times a day, and she has her fogger, and I moisten her bedding every 1 to 2 weeks, so it's quite hard to maintain, but it is definitely worth it in my opinion, but it might not be for some people. I briefly mentioned it a couple minutes ago, but their nails, oh my gosh. So blue-tongued skinks do need their nails trimmed just like bearded dragons, so that's definitely something that you should know. I try to trim her nails every 1 to 2 months, which they could be trimmed probably a little bit more often than 2 months, but she doesn't really like her nails trimmed, so it's extremely hard to do. And you don't have to trim their nails, but they do get extremely long, so if they don't have anything grading them down, which she doesn't really in her enclosure, I would like to get like a concrete slate or something where she can bask, so at least her walking on that would help. But they have very sharp nails and they do hurt. They don't ever intentionally use them, I've noticed, but when she is climbing on me and moving around, it's extremely hard and it is quite painful. And I have sensitive skin, so it tends to rash up and burn for like a day or two, so definitely something to know. Another thing is I've noticed blue-tongued skinks are insanely stubborn. Bearded dragons are very stubborn as well, so I was quite prepared when I got her. Where are you going? I was quite prepared when I got her she was going to be stubborn. Where are you going?
Yo, you wanna see some real speed?
Anyways, they are very stubborn. If they don't like the brand of dog food you're getting them, if they don't like the meat or the veggie that is in their food, they will not eat. They literally, one time I got her a different dog food than she usually has because she's not on a raw diet. I would like to look into them more, but she's not on one currently. I had to get a different dog food because they were out of what she usually has. She did not eat for that entire week because I got her a different brand of dog food. She is so insanely picky, so I know a lot of, especially northerns I see a lot, are like just garbage disposals. They'll eat literally any type of meat, they'll eat any vegetable, but her, she's not like that because the person I got her from literally fed her spinach and cat food, so she didn't have a big variety in her diet. She was pretty unhealthy and definitely a little bit underweight when I got her, but she's like the perfect weight now in my opinion, and she has quite the variety of food. Y'all have seen this pose before. She loves to sit on my head. But I'm going to show you guys her cage in just a minute. But aside from her stubbornness, she has gotten a lot better with being handled, if you guys can't tell, especially if you go back to like my channel when I originally got her. She was so squirmy. Obviously she has her moments here and there, but she is a little bit nervous, and like I said, I haven't been the best with handling her, especially lately. So she's doing really well in my opinion for not being handled like super often or anything like that. But she has gotten a lot better because I do hear that they can be pretty easy to tame down, but her, especially since the fact that she's most likely wild caught, it is much harder to tame them as they weren't born in captivity. They were born with people around originally. And even if she was, it just seems harder to tame them since they're so new to captivity if she was captive bred. So that's definitely something to know if you are interested in getting a blue-tongued skink and you want a very handleable, very chill and calm blue-tongued skink. I would definitely... Here is Stella's enclosure. She is again in roughly a 90-gallon tank. She really likes it in here. She has multiple hides, multiple cork rounds, and she also has a little pipe that I got actually from my local hardware store. She loves to sit in it. And then she has her water dish, as you can see, and it doesn't look like she has much substrate, but she actually has about 3.5 inches in the front, and then it goes back to about 4 in the back. I apologize, my camera died, so I put Stella back a while ago, and I also have different lighting, but she's gotten so much better behaviorally, and her diet has been pretty easy to work with, especially since she's not on a raw diet. It is just hard to find things that she likes, but I've been having a pretty successful time with reptile safe scrambled eggs I've been making like once or twice a month for I mean, they're really easy to make. You just make literally an egg and whisk it up, and you don't add anything, and no seasonings, no butter, no milk, nothing, to just literally, that's literally it. So yeah, but besides that, honestly, she's been such a great animal to have. I don't really have anything else to say about it. I hope that you guys enjoyed the B-roll I put in of her cage. But thank you so much for watching this video. I will see you guys next time. I love you so much. I really do recommend getting a blue-tongued skink. If they are a species you're interested in, just make sure that you know a good amount about them and know what you're getting your hands on. So with everything being said, I'll see you guys next time. I love you so much. Stay positive. Bye guys.